Hey, I'm Greg Withrow, getting ready to present informative speech to my folks here, and we're at the house, and we're going to try it out. So I'll show you them, and we'll pan around. I got my three folks here, and we'll put this right there so you can see. All right, we'll get started. First thing, I'm not going to do anything to get into it quick. I'll just get right to business. But I was thinking about how we buy shoes and we buy cars and just food, houses and things like that. I wonder if we ever think about where those things come from. And then I got to thinking about humans, and it's such an origin of debate and maybe confusion, and nothing really dogmatic about it seems like in our time. But I wonder how they came to be, or where they came from, of the origin of that and their existence. And I believe we should have an accurate presentation of the different views that support this. And I want to try to do that based on my study of creation in and out of the realm of theology. I want to try to give you a fair and balanced approach to these different views on the origin of life in the universe. And by doing that, what we're going to do is just give you a simple little thesis statement to think about. Something can't be nothing. So what is it, and how do we explain how we got it? In this short presentation, I'm going to be very brief and try to be informative to you and share two views to give you a possible understanding of life and the universe and its origin. The first two views will be, we'll use evolution view and the creation view, and then we'll have some tangents under those to help you understand that. The first one, the evolutionary view, we'll follow with some complementary ideas. The evolutionary theories made popular by Charles Darwin in his book Origin of Species, and it's a rapidly growing theory and hypothesis that generally states and teaches that the whole universe and all life forms exist because of one cell, one organism, give us everything that we see today. And that's basically what the evolutionary theory teaches, and it's called natural progression, and that's the one cell doing that. And it leaves us with an extremely old age of the earth. And as I studied the origin of that one cell, I came to find out that there's a topic or a theory they talk about. It's the Big Bang Theory, and that's where all that came from, that many billions of years ago, everything, all matter came into existence and was formed, and then bang, everything created, and now we have life. And I realized that what that view was teaching, it's called naturalism, and it states simply that everything, this is what Hasker gives us in his book, everything which exists or occurs lies entirely within the domains of natural processes. Nothing comes into nature or influences it from the outside. There is no outside, Hasker says, and he simply says it like this: nature is all there is. Another view to that would be, and you find this in an answer to everyone in that book, it's naturalistic evolution. It's the view that the entire universe and all the entities in it can be accounted for by strictly material processes. Without resorting to any designer, no creator, or no non-material entity. And that's how the universe came together in that view. And it must be said that there's no credible evidence or documentation that would give us any factual evidence or support to this view from the beginning. The theory of evolution has its designer to be man. The other view is the creation view, and some of their proposals are the gap theory, which was created, or maybe not created, but originated from Thomas Chalmers. And he teaches that in the Bible, in Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2, there's a gap between that's millions of years. And then one of the newest and the most rapidly growing one of these theories is progressive creation. It's the view that God's hand created different life forms during these stages of evolution. Theistic evolution, on the other hand, is another one. It's a different idea to creation by evolution. And it teaches that God initiated the original process and then used the life and death struggle, or we may know it more as the survival of the fittest, to keep life going and sustain life. And you can find that in Ergen Cantor's and Ed Heinzen's book, Apologetics. Another view is deistic evolution, and it claims that God began the process of evolution within the context of created matter, that the matter was already there. And you can find that in Theology for Today by Elmer Towns. And the last view of creation we'll look at is fiat creationism, and it holds to a personal God. The Bible created everything from ex nihilo, and He created it from nothing. Nothing existed before that, and God created everything, and that's where all life comes from. It's the only view that sticks to a biblical view of creation, and its designer is distinctively different because it is God. And I would just say this in conclusion, in closing, we can see that there's a lot of information there, and it can get our minds spinning a little crazy, but I would just reiterate this: something can't be nothing. So what is it, and how do we know? Where we got it? The origin of life in the universe, and we talked about, supported by these thoughts of evolution and creation. It's known 3 things about evolution. Just from this presentation. Evolutionary process has to have extremely long period of time. All living organisms have a common ancestor, and they begin from no help from a being or any other higher power. In contrast, the creation view only needs a few thousand years. All living organisms come from a common designer, and He is God. Both views are religious in nature, and you have to believe by faith.